That works.
This meeting is being recorded.
So tonight, just for something a little bit different, I thought we would do a brunch themed virtual. So we're going to do some poached eggs, some little corn fritters, avocado, like an avocado mousse type thing, and hollandaise. So yeah, just to something a little bit different. Who makes? I know quite a few of you have a Thermomix. Most of you actually have a TM6, I think, and a couple of TM5s, don't you? So who actually makes breakfast or poached eggs, has made hollandaise in their Thermomix before? Pop it in your chat box and let me know. Yeah, poached eggs are something that, to be honest, I used to do on the stove until very recently, but the new blade cover poached egg recipe on the TM6 works really well. So I'm now converted and doing it that way, and I love hollandaise in our Thermomix as well. Yeah, it's so much easier to do than by hand. Yes, you need it, Amy. So anyway, we'll get started. I'll pop over and I'll keep talking as we're going. I'm going to start just very briefly on I'm going to have both Thermomixes going tonight just to keep things short and sweet and stop us standing around. So I'm going to pop over to my black one and we're just going to get it started. So what we're going to do on the black Thermomix to start with is the poached eggs. So we... that one in. Yeah, I'll come over and I'll show you. So if I go so I've got all my recipes for tonight saved in my week, obviously. So I'm just going to go into the three little dots on the left-hand side and go into my week. So I meal plan out. Hopefully all of you guys that have TM6s are meal planning to make your life really easy. So I've got today what we are making: the fritters, the hollandaise, the poached eggs, an orange juice, and we have this chicken pesto pasta for tea tonight. If anyone hasn't tried that before, give it a go. It's really delicious and a super quick and easy meal. I only started at 5:30 tonight, so it was a really nice and easy one to do. Anyway, so we're going to go into the poached eggs. Now the poached eggs using our blade cover, this recipe actually uses the kettle mode of our TM6. So tonight we're going to see quite a few of the modes in action. So this one actually heats your water from cold as well using the kettle mode. So like always, if we wanted to, from here we could scroll down and read our recipe. We can check hints and tips, which is often handy with a recipe like this. So it's telling us that this recipe is using eggs from the fridge, and it's giving you a runny yolk with a set white. So sorry, if you if you like your eggs differently to that, then you can adjust your cooking time. Sorry, my phone stand's just having a bit of a fit. So you could adjust them if you wanted to, and then a few other little hints and tips. So we're just going to go up to the top. We're going to hit start cooking. Sorry guys, give me 2 seconds. This is, oh. Hang on. Just have to try and work with it. So it's just telling us to line a bowl or plate to pop our eggs on. Just pop paper towel on that. So, you know, for afterwards, once you put your eggs, you're popping them straight onto that. Crack an egg into the bowls, which I've already done. Because you'll see afterwards, what we want to do is drop our eggs in quite quickly. So having them done in our bowl already just allows that to happen. Just let that person in too. And then this section of the recipe, so those of you who don't have a TM6, you'll notice that some recipes have little videos built into them. So we can press the video. It's just a further explanation of what they want you to do. So this is just showing us how to put our blade cover peeler in. That just sits over the blade. So just a couple of videos in some recipes just to give you a bit more of an idea of what they mean. So we'll just take our lid off. And I've got my blade cover filler. So this is a limited time host reward at the moment. So you can get this with an e-recipe book that is all about modes and functions as well. So these two are available as special ones at the moment. So I'm just going to pop that in over the top of the blade. Super easy to pop in there. And into there I'm going to put 1.7 litres of water. So obviously we're just watching our scales here. I don't have anywhere near enough water there. I'll just grab some more. So we're just watching our scales. I've gone over, that's completely fine. Next, 50 grams of white vinegar. So I'm not sure if for those of you who have made Brunch shakes before, whether you made them on the stove top or in the Thermomix, but white vinegar just helps like hold bind them together a little bit, so they, you know, they don't fall apart losing all that egg white. So that's why we put that in there. And then we're going to put the lid on. Next, and so you'll see here the kettle icon. So that means we're activating our kettle mode, and you can adjust the temperature too if you wanted to as well. So we just turn the swift speed flip to once, and that's just going to boil like a kettle would until it reaches 100 degrees. So we'll come back to that afterwards. So I'm just going to take you over to our other one while that boils. Oh, nearly time this out then. Still in my dinner recipe. Now, let's try. Of course, my ring light decides to die for a virtual. All right, so we're going to start on this one with our fritters now. So again, I've saved what we're cooking into my week. So I just go into our 3 little dots. So I've got like my recipes there. They've got all my bookmark recipes, my regular recipes, my create collections, everything I use and try, those kind of things. But we're going into my week now. And we're going to start with the sweet corn fritters with chili jam and avocado. So we're actually skipping the chili jam part of this because it does have 30 minutes cooking time. So I don't know if any of you guys have had chili jam before, but it's absolutely delicious. It's sweet. It's not spicy as such, but if you haven't made it, give it a go. It's really, really nice. So we won't make it tonight because, yeah, like I said, 30 minutes cooking time, so we'll be standing around talking. But yeah, otherwise, give it a go. So because we are skipping the chili jam, they're the first couple of steps of this recipe. We're just going to scroll down. So we've got 2 options. We could start it and next past the ones that we don't want to do. Otherwise, we can scroll down, just go to where we want to start, the avocado cream, and just tap that. It will take us exactly to that point of the recipe. So I don't know if you can see, it might not be clear on the screen, but we're starting at step 13 instead of step 1. So we've just skipped, instead of going next, those 13 steps, we've just quickly and easily skipped them. So we take our lid off, and into there, we're going to pop 1 avocado, just the flesh. So just your full avocado. You're not chopping it up, not doing anything fancy special, just popping it straight in there. Let's take the top in there with it. Has anyone made like something like this before? The fritters, the avocado cream. Makes it quite a fancy little breakfast to have at home. 50 grams of sour cream. So again, just measuring it straight in there. So just watching your scales, we're accurate to 1 gram on the TM6. There we go. And it is just guided cooking. So it's just a guide. So don't be worried if you go over, under, if you want to skip things out of some recipes, anything at all. Just do whatever you like. It's just a guide. So 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And a little bit of cracked pepper. So I just do it straight in there. I don't measure these kind of things out. I'm going to pop the lid on again. Next. And now we've got 15 seconds. So we're in guided cooking. It's all set for us. 15 seconds. And down the bottom it tells us to turn the speed selector to 4. Oops. look at that. So the biggest circle is the one you're changing. So we just want to go to the speed selector and turn that around to 4. Yeah, it's a handy little hint, that one, isn't it, Kira? Especially, yeah, if you don't want to cook all of a recipe. There's some things that, you know, sometimes you want to do slightly, like some recipes that kind of do have lots of components, you do want to skip a few steps, or it's a really easy way to do that. All right, so next, and that's it, that's our avocado cream done. So you can see there, all mixed up together. So we're just going to pop that in a bowl. It tells us to pop it in the fridge, but we're going to obviously use it shortly. So I'll just pop it straight into a bowl. Is this something, this fritters with poached eggs, avocado and hollandaise, is this something you guys would order if you went out for brekkie? If you went to a cafe, what's your favourite kind of brekkie? Put in the chat box and let me know. This is definitely something I would have. All right, so next, it's time to clean and dry the mixing bowl. I'm just going to skip that step because I don't think a little bit of avocado in our fritters is going to make much of a difference. So again, guided cooking, I just tend to do whatever I feel like, especially sets that say skip clean bowl. If you don't feel like it's going to matter, just skip on past it. Sometimes they're a bit particular, like, you know, over, you know, go a bit overboard washing. I think washing and cleaning in cases are different for the flavour in it, but yeah, I don't think that is too much. So 2 sprigs of fresh parsley. Pop that in there. Next, 10 sprigs of fresh chives. I don't have fresh chives, and I didn't want to buy them just for this recipe. So again, guided cooking, just to guide. So I'm just going to use some dried chives in this one, and just pop a little bit in there. So if there's something in your ingredient list that you know you don't have and you don't want to buy just for one recipe, just substitute it. Google it, substitute it, leave it out, whatever you like. I'm going to pop the lid on again. Next, and we've got a 3-second chop. So 3 seconds down the bottom, it's turning the speed selector to 7. So everyone, a couple of you would like fritters, that's good. Okay, so we've just chopped up our herbs there, our parsley. Oh, sorry, I go down a bit lower because my things dropped. So into here now, this recipe is also gluten-free. So those of you who don't have gluten, perfect. You can use the chickpea flour. We don't mind in this house. It doesn't, when I don't have any intolerances. So I'm just going to substitute it. Google told me that I can do a quick, straight substitute for this one. So I'm just using plain flour. But yeah, good to know that this one is gluten-free if you are or do know someone who's gluten-free. So 70 grams of flour. Next, 30 grams of corn flour. So again, most corn flours are gluten-free, but it is, if you are catering to someone, important to check the packaging. Next, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Next, so just literally walking us through every little step there. 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. Straight in. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now make sure if you've got any questions as we're going, pop them in the chat box, guys. I can see that as I'm cooking, so more than happy to answer any as we're going. Next, a little bit of black pepper again. And then we're going to pop our lid on. Next, so again, 5 seconds, speed 5, just to mix all those up together. Now, let's see if that's just combined all that for us. Into there next, we're going to pop 2 egg yolks, so just straight in there. 120 grams of water. You just want to make sure your scales are tiered. You haven't knocked it or anything when you're measuring stuff in. A little bit over, that's all right. Popping our lid on again. And now I've got 10 seconds, speed 5 again. Next again. So into the next, we're going to pop 400 grams of corn kernels. A 400 gram can, sorry, I should say. So obviously once you've grained it, it's going to be a bit less, and that's okay. It does tell you that it should be around 250 grams after draining. So let's hear it and see what we actually get in our can, hey? Oh, pretty good, over. Next, and 200 grams of feta. So that's just roughly chopped up again as well. Next, pop the lid on. And now I've got 10 seconds and turning the speed closer to 2. So this part of the recipe tells us to transfer it to a bowl and set it aside, because the next part just whips an egg white to fold through it to give it a nice fluffy texture. But I've got a couple of bowls, so I'm just going to switch my bowl over instead. So it's nice to thoroughly clean and dry. So if you do only have one bowl, you want to make sure it is nice and clean and dry, because you want to whip up those egg whites into a bit of like almost a meringue type texture. So it's only going to work. This is the really important key to doing egg whites, is that you do want to make sure that your bowl is clean and dry, otherwise it won't work. If there's a speck of water, anything at all, you'll have trouble. So I tend to just pick one, a jug that's been in the dishwasher, because then I know it is clean, it's had a nice hot clean, and it's dry as well. So that's how I do it. We're going to pop our butterfly in. So the butterfly obviously comes with your TN6, use your whisking attachment, sitting that over the blade. I'm popping our 2 egg whites in. So this is just the egg whites from those eggs we popped into the mixture before. Next, we're going to pop our lid on. Next again. And now I've got 1 minute on speed 3. Any questions so far, guys? In the chat box. Those of you with the Thermomix, what do you have for tea tonight? What do you make? Or what have you made over the weekend? Let us know. Give us some inspiration for the week ahead. We had, the pesto pasta for tea tonight. It was delicious. And the kids all loved it, which was a big win. The initial complaints of I don't like it when they saw the green pasta quickly disappeared when they actually tasted it, which is definitely a win for us. Our kettle mode on our other Thermomix sounds like it's just about ready there. Do it a little bit more. You can see that it started, but it just hasn't quite whisked up. So I'm going to choose our back button and just start again. So you've always got the kind of the backwards arrow on your top left-hand corner. So you can go back, start the step again. You can just do a section of the step. It does say down the bottom there now. I didn't notice it before because I was too busy talking. Whisking until stiff peaks form for a long time if necessary. So that's exactly what we've done there. Anyone made meringue or a pave or something like that? anyone tried to make it without a Thermomix? Thermomix just makes such light work of it. Probably could have cut my better up a little bit more, so I'm just using my spatula just to break it up a little bit as I put it in, because obviously it just mixed it all together. It didn't chop it any further, so I probably cut it a bit too big. I'm just using the back of the spoon just to squash it a little bit. Let's have a look at it this time. So you can you see that time how around the sides there, it's a lot firmer consistency. Can you see that? So if I took out my whisk, you can see how that's really kind of stiff on the sides there. That's exactly what we were trying to achieve there. So here we go next again, and it's telling us to transfer the egg white into the batter, fold in gently using the spatula, and then we're going to cook. So I'm just going to gently move you around so it doesn't drop. So I'm just going to take the butterfly out first. So obviously you've made it nice and airy with your butterfly by whisking it there. So you just want to be nice and gentle folding it in so that you don't lose all that nice texture that we were going for. You see how that's nice and firm, that egg white now? It's definitely needed that extra minute. Gently. Just fold it. So that's our mixture. So if we can flip back to our screen and just next it on through it, it's just going to tell us to heat our frying pan and then drop the couple of tablespoons worth into the oil and cook them essentially 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So we might do that in a minute while our eggs are cooking. I'll just put that bowl to the side. And I'm just going to, just give me 2 seconds while I rinse out one of my bowls. Usually have full bowls on the go, but I haven't done my dishes from tea time yet. It's running a bit late. The babies didn't want to settle for me tonight. Okay. So we'll just get our hollandaise cooking and then we'll do our eggs. So, so what we can do now is cancel out of this recipe as well. So again, if we didn't want to keep pressing next till we got to the end, we can just go to those 3 little bars next to the next and just hit cancel recipe. If we do that, we'll say yes. When you cancel like that as well, I'll just show you quickly. If you go up into your 3 little bars and you've recently cooked, everything obviously that you've recently cooked will be there, but because you cancelled it, it'll ask you whether you want to restart it as well. So I'm not sure if you can see, there's a little pause symbol up the top right hand corner. So that just means that you didn't finish the whole recipe. So if I selected that now, it'll ask me whether I want to resume it or restart it as well. So if for some reason, like we're doing now, you wanted to make your hollandaise and then come back and check the rest of the steps, you could go to resume there as well. I'll just go to that. I just want to show you quickly. So I'm going to go into our week again. And this time I'm going to make our hollandaise. So again, like everything, we could scroll down if we wanted to. Otherwise, we're just going to start cooking. Essentially, we're going to place 10 grams of water. Who's made hollandaise before? Anyone? In your Thermomix or by hand? can be quite a process by hand. 10 to 20 grams of lemon juice. So this is to taste. So if you like it with that little bit of extra kind of tardiness, you can put your 20 or just whatever. I'm just going to go in the middle. 150 grams of butter. I remember I made a hollandaise years ago before I had a Thermomix. And yeah, you have to add your butter really slowly so that it doesn't split. And yeah, take quite a while. 4 egg yolks. So you're just popping your yolks in for this recipe. Just grab another spatula. Next, a little bit of salt just to taste. A little bit of pepper again. Next, I'm going to pop the lid on. And that's it. That's our hands-on time for our hollandaise. How good is that? Compared to, yeah, if you have ever made it by hand before. Just hit next. And this one's bringing up our thickening mode. So another one of our modes, because we're in guided cooking, it selects it for us, obviously, but these are available off your home screen as well if you did want to use your own recipe. But thickening mode, it's hard to explain, but because it's a smart appliance, obviously, it'll work out exactly how long it needs to cook. So you can see there, it doesn't have a time set. So it'll start heating and work on the ingredients that you've got and how much of it you've got to work out how long it needs to cook for to give you the perfect consistency. So as it starts going, you'll get a time, but it won't give you one straight away. So that's our thickening icon. So again, just turn the speed up to 1 to start that. Does that make sense on your thickening mode? So it comes up with 10 now, but it will probably change depending on once it gets going. So just going to come back over to our other one. All right, so our kettle mode just finished. So what I'm going to do, you can see near the temperature here. So the 100 is what I've got it set for. The small number above it, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, says 95. So that is your active temperature of your bowl. So because it's dropped a little bit because I was talking, I'm just going to go back again. And then just give that kettle mode another quick run just to get up to 100 degrees. It's really important for your poached eggs that it is at the 100 degrees. So you can do more eggs once you've done your initial ones, but you just go back, use your back button to reheat your water every time. So it is up to that 100 degrees. Is that all making sense so far? Anybody got any questions? Pop in the chat box if you do. I'm just going to turn you around so I can see it from this side as well. I don't know, you probably can't hear it through the screen, but it's boiling away, just exactly like your kettle would sound if you're boiling water at home. So, yeah, another appliance it could replace if you wanted it to. So that was that quick to get it up to 100. So we're going to next now, telling us to remove our measuring cup. Next again. Now it's got 3 minutes, 100 degrees. This is our reverse arrow, so our blades are going in reverse, so we've gone to one side, sharp on the other. So we're going around on our blunt side and turn speed selected to 0.5. Now it's time to add our eggs one at a time through the hole and then popping our cup on. So I'm just going to tilt you. So this is where it's important to do a really quick drop. So you're switching. Give that one a second. That's it. So this recipe actually tells us we can do up to 4 eggs. I find for the best results, 2 works the best for me, but it might just be me and my dropping skills. But yeah, so that's it. So now we'll give it another 2.5 minutes and then our eggs will be done. So I'll heat up our frying pan. I should really on that. I'm just going to bring you over a little bit again while that's cooking. So we're just going to cook our fritters while that's doing its thing as well. So we're just popping a couple of tablespoons. I'm just going to be spoon actually. So it's 2 to 3 tablespoons, but again, like anything, this is exactly what you want to do. So just do them the size you want. It's perfectly fine. I can't find a spoon. So got a really great little frying pan here. So I don't actually add oil to anything. So just do what you want, like with your frying pan. The recipe says to add oil to it, but I never do. And I'm cooking stuff in this frying pan. Still, might be able to see, I don't know whether you can see the touch of feta in there. I definitely could have broken that to cut that feta up a bit more, but okay. Any questions so far, guys? So we've got our eggs cooking, our hollandaise on, and our fritters cooking. Pop it in the chat box and let me know if you got any questions. We're going to make a quick, really quick juice after this as well. Has anyone ever made juice in the Thermomix? Again, put it in the chat box and let me know. So easy to make a nice fresh juice. We're just going to do orange juice tonight, but there's a couple of different juice recipes on Cookadoo that you can check out. That's it, that's that eggs done. I'm just going to try and lean in over the top of the camera there. Put them together. That is our first step. So, how good does that look? It's a bit hard leaning over the camera to do it. Okay, there are a few poached eggs. I'm not holding it very well, sorry guys. They're really easy. Like I said before, if you like them a little bit more cooked, just add a bit more cooking time. But that gives you, I don't know if you can see, if I give that a little, I'm trying to hold, I'm not doing a very good job of working this camera out tonight. I give that a little push, you can see that it's nice and soft there. So it gives you a nice soft yolk, if that's how you like your poached eggs. And then, yeah, like I said before, if you're going to then cook some more eggs, all you want to do, because again, that's dropped down to 95 degrees there, use your back button back to your kettle mode, pop your lid back on, and then restart your kettle. So that would only take then a very small amount of time. You saw it before, maybe a minute, maybe less, to get back up to that 100 degrees, and then you could pop in your next 2 to 4 eggs. So it's that easy just to keep pumping out eggs as quick as you want. I'm just going to go over here. Get these fritters. Then I do it more time. Because I didn't preheat my frying pan. That looks good, don't you? Anyone got any questions so far? Just going to give my bowl a really quick rinse so that we can make our orange juice. And then we'll be done. Probably should have kept a bowl cold for the orange juice. I'm just going to give this one a bit of a rinse in cold water for a little while, because otherwise for making a nice warm orange juice. Oh, no, you have to stay over here. And then orange juice. Alright. So, like before, we can cancel out of our recipe. Yes. So I'm going to go into my whip. Sorry, I'm going to come back again just so I can show you the ribbons as usually. Sorry about that. Just give it a bit there, then keep cooking. And then we're going to scroll down and use that orange juice this time. So again, scroll down if you want to, otherwise you can just hit that cooking. Into there we're going to put some sugar. So if you wanted to, you could completely leave this out, depending on your oranges. You put in your 15 grams, you can put in your 30 grams. It's also saying you can use a sugar alternative if you wanted to. Just completely up to you and what you like. Next, so 10 seconds, speed 10, I'm nearly done. Anyone knows, or I know a few of you know, I've got now 5-month-old twins, and they seem to know when I'm trying to do a purchase when they don't settle. My poor husband is going backwards and forwards between them now. So we're just going to give that a quick scrape down. So we're just grinding that sugar down to a finer consistency. And then we're going to put 85 grams of ice cubes. So I'll just come put those out of the freezer. Yeah, just know when Mum's trying to do something, I think. Ice cubes, it must be small because this says approximately 3 ice cubes. It's definitely taking more than that. Next. So it's arms are automatically locking in there. Sorry, my phone's dropped again. So that means we're using our turbo mode this time. So another one of our modes. This gives it a really quick blast chop. So this will be quite noisy. Zoom will mute me out for a second. 2-second chop. Next. So that's just blasted those ice cubes up. Scrape down again. That kind of, you can see the ice a bit better now. Next, we're going to pop in 2 oranges. So just peeled. Next, 85 grams of water. Next, we're going to pop our lid on. Next again, and now we've got our blending mode. So again, another one of our modes that are available in our TM6. So it's just, this is one that replaces a blender. So if you have a blender at your house, you don't need one anymore now that you've got a Thermomix. So it's got 1 minute using our blending mode. I know Zoom will not like that noise, so I'll just bear with me for a minute. Oh, sorry, I knew that was going to be too loud to talk over. Just going to bring everything over. All right, so we've got our fritters, which are cooked now beautifully. Oh, sorry. What's going to happen, wasn't it? All right, I'm going to finish anyway. So we've got our orange juice in there. So that's a full freshly made orange juice. I'm really sorry. I'm just going to have to hold the camera and grab a knife. My stand just cast it. So now we're just going to top our fritters with our avocado cream. This is looking delicious. Our poached eggs on there. And then our hollandaise is finished as well. How good does that look? I just need to grab another spoon. I'm really sorry to keep moving you now, but my stand has officially carved it. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of hollandaise over that. How good is that, guys? So that is our corn fritters, our avocado cream, our poached eggs, our hollandaise, and our freshly made orange juice. What do you reckon? Any questions or anything so far? Pop them in the chat box. I'm just going to come back over to the computer. Sorry about that terrible camera work there. Any questions? Put them in the chat box. That's it, everybody. So we're nicely under time tonight. Please pop any questions in the chat box. Anything you want to know more about? Are you going to give it a go? Poached eggs, maybe hollandaise next weekend during the week. It's heaps. It may be a bit easier than what you might have thought. All right. Well, thanks so much. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Let me know if you give any of it a go. If anyone's got any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll chat to you all in the next couple of days. And thanks so much for watching. Again, sorry for the camera work to get that fixed. Thanks so much, everyone. It is easy, Karen. That's fine. Thanks, everybody.